BB851, turn right, heading 180. Order 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
I trust you all had the most enjoyable Christmas or Friday possible and are ready to close out the year on a more positive term, given how the year has fared for most of us. Today's focus sits on results for the 2020 calendar year for both Airbus and Boeing that after a long time at number 2 has seen Airbus for the second year running beat out competition from them to be the world's largest plane manufacturer. It'd be wrong of me though not to make mention of the circumstances behind results this year, with customers around the world slowing deliveries and orders with the focus centred around survival for these carriers, rather than say units ordered and so on. We've almost sadly reached a point within the industry where any sort of delivery of any widebody becomes a major event. Now, that's not to say that beforehand they weren't talked about, but certainly now we get a lot more excited for a delivery given circumstances and so on. Airbus is currently expecting to deliver around 550 planes for this calendar year, with hopefully a nice push towards the year's end in this final week. However, this can be very much subject to change, like anything in the aviation scene right now, but obviously Airbus will work at full pedal to try and achieve this. A number that is a lot higher than Boeing, but of course substantially aided by the fact that for the majority of this year, Boeing was unable to deliver its 737 MAX to customers given the fact it was grounded, while Airbus did have a fully functioning A320neo, of course the rival to the 737 MAX series. A lot of people get involved in the age-old Airbus vs Boeing debate. Who is better, and also who do you prefer? This can naturally lead to sometimes toxicity, but I'd like to put another perspective on the age-old debate and question. Without Airbus, Boeing would not probably be where it is today and vice versa. Airbus exists and functions, so Boeing can improve, and Boeing exists, so Airbus can improve. Competition is healthy and it allows both aircraft manufacturers to better understand the market to offer customers something different in order to thrive. Preferences will always exist, but it's always important to understand how the two are able to complement each other in the best ways possible, so our industry can thrive to the best of its abilities. This can stretch out to smaller aircraft manufacturers, like that of Embraer, prior to Boeing talks, ATR, and so many more in other locations that obviously don't have the same status of Airbus and or Boeing, but most indeed tap into their own markets within the aviation industry. So with all that being said, Airbus is looking to be now the biggest aircraft manufacturer or plane manufacturer for the second year running after Boeing had a very long reign of taking that number 1 spot, highlighting really the seesaw effect and how one year you can have one aircraft manufacturer on top and the other year it can be another one. We've just seen a switch in recent years and that's been severely aided by the 737 MAX crisis. Had that not ever happened, I think we would have definitely seen Boeing at the number 1 spot. But there's many ifs, buts, and maybes in that regard. So, with all that being said though, we would hope that 2021 for both Airbus and Boeing is going to be a year of recovering and returning to somewhat normality. What happens is still remain to be seen. It's very hard to predict what's going to take place, as everything changes week by week. What I can ensure you though is that I'll be here to do my very best to cover all developments on the channel. Thank you very much for your continued support. Please do enjoy the rest of the year as best as you can, and I will see you all in the next video.